Hey everybody, it's been a very long time and I'm very sorry for that. I've had a lot going on this year, and whether it was joining Servant Stage for Fiddler on the Roof, which by the way was so wonderful. Thank you, Servant Stage, for that. Or changing jobs from Panera Bread to now Weiss Markets. And I've lost a couple friends this year, and well, but fortunately, I've not been out of work. I've been doing crossover reviews with Movie Fan from the Movie Universe and Joshua Oro from Mustang Oro Reports. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. And also shout out to Alpha Lion Simba and Benjamin Sletcher for letting me join you for the Kim Possible review, because you guys are awesome. You all are. And well, to be fair, this year I've not had that much to talk about. I mean, I know that there's been a lot to talk about, and there is a subject that I will eventually speak about. I, but well, you're here for the Wicked review, and well, what I thought of the movie. Well, my skepticisms were high for this one, very high. I mean, not that I wasn't excited to see it. Of course, I wanted to see it. I was excited to see it. But at the same time, I mean, and this is a movie that, well, this is a play that deserves to be a movie, to be shown to everybody, and not just for the price of, well, not just for the price of a rental apartment, but really for, I mean, for the price of a regular admission ticket at a movie theater. Who wouldn't want to see this? And, well, almost 10 years ago now, I actually got to see it with my best friend at, I forget what the name of the theater is, but it was in California. Um, and we saw it for her 19th birthday. And oh man, Wicked was incredible. Like, I did not know what the plot was. All I knew was that this is the story of the Wicked Witch of the West um, from The Wizard of Oz. And that was it. And all throughout the play, all I could think was, wow, this looks amazing. I know what defying gravity looks like. And how dare you make me feel sorry for the Wicked Witch of the West from the 1939 movie, or even from the book. Like, how dare you make me feel sorry for her? But that's kind of what made it cool. It took the concept of a misunderstood villain and um, turned it into something cool. Or should I say, something good? I had to. And the songs were phenomenal. The characters were written phenomenally. I've not read the book yet, but I need to. And, well, sorry. I and the sets were phenomenal, and I mean, this was not something that I expected to see. And even though I knew what was going on in Defying Gravity, I knew that she was going to be lifted high. It still blew me away and made me speechless by the end of Act 1. I to a point where I'm like, you can't top this. You can't possibly top this. How are you going to do even better for Act 2? And they somehow did. I got engaged in the story of Elphaba and Glinda, how they met, and what they did as soon as they made their choices, and how they went with it. And oh man, um, it was really one of the most breathtaking plays that I had ever seen. And I've seen a few, but yeah, when I heard that this was going to be turned into a movie, I pretty much was still skeptical because, well, movie musicals are a gamble or have been a gamble in this decade. But even, I guess, back in the days, it was also a gamble. But you got phenomenal movies that, phenomenal movie musicals like The Music Man that do everything right. But you also got movie musicals that fail miserably, like Cats. And I mean the 2019 Cats. Don't ever see that movie. Or you even just have them be okay at best. Like the Phantom of the Opera musical. I mean, I like that one. I really do, but it was okay at best compared to the play. And Wicked is arguably one of the biggest musicals of this decade, so it in no way could afford to fall into the latter two categories. I so yeah, that was a little bit scary for me. It's like, do not fail me. Do not fail me. And then of course you've got Ariana Grande as another reason for me because I she's a phenomenal singer, don't get me wrong. But before then, I had never really seen anything with her in it, like no movies or anything. And um I've seen one or two clips of Sam and Cat and I was not a real fan of her acting. But that's just me. I mean, those of you who have seen more movies with Ariana Grande, is her acting better? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, I knew that she was gonna nail the singing, but how was she gonna do with the acting? And I was very very skeptical about this. I but then another reason also came up that turned a lot of public attention in a negative downslide, and it was Cynthia Erivo's bad behavior. Um, let To be fair, I did think that Cynthia Erivo was a good choice for Elphaba. I really did, mainly because she's got the singing chops for it. I mean, when watching the 2022 Pinocchio movie, I thought that her character and her talents were wasted in that movie because even though I liked it, she played arguably a pointless character in that one. And even though she was given a chance to show her singing talents for When You Wish Upon a Star, and she really sounded phenomenal. It's like, I want to see her do more. I want to see her do more. And I was very confident that she was going to do more in Wicked and very excited for it. And before the movie came out, the poster came out, which showed, which barely mimicked the original Broadway poster, and showing Elphaba's eyes, um, and well, some fan of the Broadway musical, I redid the poster by shading in Elphaba's eyes, and even putting red lipstick on Elphaba's face. And Cynthia Erivo, what's the best way to say it? Couldn't stay calm for once and went flying off the handle over it, and I falsely accused the fan, and that set a lot of people against her for it. I Eventually she did go, okay, I was just protecting Elphaba. No, you were protecting yourself. Um, didn't even apologize for it. So her arrogance was pretty much met with anger. But, I mean, and her arrogance really did bother me, but not as much as another actress's arrogance that I plan to talk about another time. So, with all four of these issues in front of me about the Wicked musical, what did I think when I saw it? Well, first frame had me meh, but as soon as they started singing No One Mourns the Wicked, I was like, whoa! And it was overwhelming, this movie. I did not think how overwhelming it would be, and it's amazing. I mean, seriously, genuinely amazing. I In no way, I don't think it would be better than the play at all. I mean, but for the most part, I really feel like that it mostly did the play justice. And I say mostly because I think there are a few things that could be improved on. Like, one of the things that did bug me a bit was I think that it would have been better if, well, it seems like half the time some of the colors are muted, like on Glinda's gown. I or even in certain parts of Oz. And it's like, come on, guys. This is Oz. This is the brightest, gorgeous place that you've ever seen. The 1939 movie made it that way, and Wicked borrows elements from the 1939 movie. I don't mean just the movie, I mean the play. Make it bright, make it colorful, make everything pop. But when colors do pop, they really do pop. I I just wish it was consistent throughout the entire movie. I also I think that the movie would have done better if it was not dragged to 2.5 hours, in my opinion. And that's not counting the credits. I I like when certain moments are paused for a character to reflect or think about what she's about to do, but sometimes they took a little too long, a little too long. But that's just my opinion. I I do think that sometimes that those moments are warranted. I But if that's it with all my problems, you know that there's going to be a lot of great moments. Where do I start on what's good about it? I Again, the atmosphere. The colors of the atmosphere. Like when the colors really do pop, they really pop. You feel like you're in Oz. It looks gorgeous. The yellow brick road pops out. The flowers pop out, and on top of that, the more I look behind the scenes, the more impressed I am. Because I I originally thought that these flower fields and the flowers at Shiz, or even Shiz itself, all were CGI. I I can't believe that these things are real. I I know that's I know that's probably just sounds cliche, but honestly, with constant CGI after constant CGI, and you're so used to the CGI, you're not. I'm not always sure what what's real and what's not anymore. And to see that this grain field, this flower bed field, and the flowers at Shiz are real is amazing. It means a lot to see that. To see that somebody actually went into the effort to do this. And speaking of effort, the makeup on Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, I love seeing that. That makes me so happy because you know what? What they could have done was a She-Hulk filter on her, and I was almost expecting them to do that. But you know what? They actually put makeup on her. She sat in a makeup chair and I and let them put it all on her. So kudos for that, guys. Kudos for that effort. And the cast is great. I love the cast in there. I'm still occasionally mixed about no, I'm still occasionally mixed about Ariana Grande's acting. But after I saw Doug Walker's review of it, he actually did make a good point where he said that Glinda is kind of meant to be cartoony, and Ariana managed to find the balance between being both cartoony and realistic. Though maybe it's just me, but I think she could do with a little facial acting as well. I though her line delivery is really on point, and I love it. I love every moment that she's sarcastic and hiding it behind kindness, and I that's what Glinda's supposed to do. I was still maybe a little facial reaction, but then again, then again, acting does come in different forms, and she, oh gosh, vocally, she's earned her role. Oh my gosh, she can really sing. And when I heard her do "No One Mourns the Wicked," I'm like, oh, she's totally got this. But she doesn't just nail the role; she goes 110% of what's expected of her. Like, there's a moment where she sings higher than when she needs to for a the the climax of "No One Mourns the Wicked," and I was like, we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. And how about Cynthia Erivo? Erivo as Elphaba. I mean, I've already talked about her bad behavior towards this fan, but has she earned the role of Elphaba? Absolutely. She can really sing and act, and that's not easy. I mean, when you're Elphaba, you have to be able to sing, act, and go through all these emotions and carry the emotions into your song. There are times when her facial reactions could be better improved upon, but every actor has that. I'm pretty sure every actor has that moment. But yeah, she's a powerhouse when singing. I like a Defying Gravity was featured in the teaser trailers, and I kind of wish they hit it because then at least it would surprise us. But they saved a lot of surprises for later, and I love how they did it. And Cynthia Erivo, I in every song she has to sing, she really, really punches through it, and I love it. And then, and I also like Ethan Slater as Bach. Um, and I actually like that he went straight from the Broadway SpongeBob to this, and it's one of his first known movie roles, and he does a great transition job. And then, of course, you've got more actors like Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero doing phenomenal, Michelle Yeoh as Madame Morrible, Marissa Bode as Nessa Throp, who, by the way, actually in real life is in a wheelchair. And kudos for that. That does make me wonder what's going to happen in Act 2. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, everybody was phenomenal. I love Jeff Goldblum as Oz. As the Wizard of Oz, I should say. And he's got this kind of contagious charm. I don't know what it is about Jeff Goldblum, but he's really got this contagious charm that just sucks people in. Whether you're watching Jurassic Park or whether you're watching anything else that he's in, and he hones it in, or I don't know, he reels it in for Wicked. His singing is passable, I would say. I mean, he's not phenomenal, but passable. And he even does a short little tap dance. He's got a way of charming people, and I will also say, how in all of Oz did I not recognize Peter Dinklage as Dr. Dillamond in this? Seriously, this guy has one of the most recognizable voices, and I didn't recognize him. But then again, maybe because the character was just that endearing and that great. And speaking of Dr. Dillamond, I love what they did with him. I love that, in the play, you got a half man, half goat. I guess you can't help that. I'm nice about that one. And they've always had an actor for him. In here, he's a full goat, and he functions in a, I mean, in a mostly human world, and I love the way that they work the creativity with him, and it doesn't bother me that he's CGI at all. I mean, and it's really good CGI. And the way he sings something bad happening in Oz, one commenter on YouTube actually pointed this out, saying that the way he sang this song contrasts to the Broadway one. He makes it sound more menacing, and to be fair, it is a more menacing situation because at any moment these animals could lose their voices, and they live in fear of that, in fear of losing their jobs and their voices, and they're not sure who's behind all of it, and Elphaba is willing to put a stop to it so that nothing bad happens to the teacher she loves or the animals that she cares about, especially since she was raised by one. So yeah, I love this. And well, you know what else I loved? The choreography in this one. The choreography was phenomenal. Like, yeah, you got dancing going on. I mean, and one of the things that I do compliment Cats for is that people did dance. I mean, is that everybody was dancing and that there was choreography. But oh man, something about this choreography made me think back to the 1997 Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella with Brandy as Cinderella, where the camera seems to take you in on the dancing and even practically dancing with you. And the choreography in here, you really feel like that the camera is dancing with you. During songs like Dancing Through Life, What Is This Feeling, Popular, etc., it really felt like that you were part of this dance and that the camera was part of it too. And the way they shoot every single moment is so precise, and every dance move is so precise and on point with the music. And I mean, aside from the remake of West Side Story, I don't think I've ever seen that in a long time in this decade. I've seen it in past musicals like, well, The Music Man, aka the Robert Preston one, aka the better version, aka Movie Fan, can't wait to do this one with you. But that aside, yeah, they're not sleeping. They're not sleepwalking through the dances. There are dancers doing their actual stunts. Like in Dancing Through Life, it takes place in a library. You got people. I mean, yeah, you could just have them dancing along and having a great time. You got people dancing on top of books. You got people leaping through ladders. You've got people dancing around while the room is literally spinning around. How often do you get that? I have not seen that in a long time. I mean, the creativity in this. And it made me once again believe that movie musicals can be great. Also, I gotta say the plot is intact from the musical. I'm not really gonna give much spoilers, but then again, the biggest spoiler is that Elphaba is the Wicked Witch. Oh no! Just kidding, of course. But yeah, the way they set everything up, and and for the most part, they do not change the core essence of this story, and they could have so easily done that. But it makes me so happy that they're not doing that. They've not changed the core essence of what Wicked is. And on top of that, I gotta mention the biggest moment where I geeked out with a friend. I mean, the original Glinda and Elphaba show up. You got You got Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel in it cameoing, and even getting a number in there that wasn't in the Broadway play, but it works phenomenally. And you even got Idina Menzel belting it out like she usually does, and and they placed both Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel with the new Glinda and Cynthia Erivo, almost passing a torch to them, or passing a wand and a broom to them, you could say. I also got a comment about the director. Um, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but basically, this director, he did some big stinkers. And one of his biggest stinkers was Gem and the Holograms movie in 2015. And it looked nice, but that's the nicest thing I could say about it. Well, it looked nice and the singer could sing, but that's the nicest thing I could say about it. He completely 110% redeemed himself with Wicked. He goes above and beyond what is needed to in there, and he made it look so pretty that even Judy Garland's daughter, Lorna Luft, said that it was everything she wanted to see, everything she imagined. How wonderful to hear that. And I hope this means no more insulting fans to you, director. No more insulting fans who love this movie or who love this musical, and I love everything about it. But I guess but yeah, I guess so. And on top of that, behind the scenes, I've been seeing that these stunts are real. I mean, Cynthia Erivo, I actually did her own stunts, and she could have that could have so easily been CGI'd again. But the fact that she dedicated herself to this, and the fact that sorry. But yeah, everything that they did to put together this movie is just so meaningful to me. The behind the scenes stories are not pretty, and Cynthia Erivo's behavior was not pretty, but what came out of this movie was phenomenal. And you know something? I cannot wait to see part 2. I'm bummed that I have to wait a year, but I can't wait for part 2. And you know something else? And nobody in all the net, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna change my mind.